This is my little go everywhere, don't have much time sketch journal that I carry in the car with me, and I grab it when I just have a minute or two. It's made of a single sheet of watercolor paper. This is Fabriano soft press, I believe, that I put something hard on the outside of, bookboard, in order to protect it. But when I just have a moment or two, I grab this and whatever's handy. This is colored pencil, as is this, a landscape near my library. I guess we don't need those shadows, do we? This is another one that I did in ink and then dashed in some color in the same location, actually. I had lots more time here. This is Out by the Highway, just an ink sketch with very, very quick color on it. This time I didn't use anything other than just the watercolor, so that's the clouds and sky and a little farmland out near where we live. This time I added ink and then the color. And you see this turns over and you can work on the other side. Another parking lot sketch. I do a lot of those while Joseph goes in and shops because I don't care for shopping. Power line and pencil sketch of trees, and I just had time to add a little bit of color to those. And that's the last one I did. It hasn't been colored yet. So I'm going to just show you that you can, even sometime later, oops, where is the beginning of this book? Over here. You can come back in and splash in some color over the sketch you've done, just as quickly as can be. I already pre-wet my paints here, and I want to get a little autumnal feeling in this one because I remember that that's when I did this sketch. So mixing up some quick colors here. It was still a bit green, so I'm going to lay in a little green. But it had started to turn. I want some variation in that, so I'm touching in some jewels of color quick, fast. And it became more yellow. A little jewel over here, and then back to the cooler green. And maybe some, oops, shadow down close to the ground. The grass itself, as I recall, was pretty dry, raw sienna color perhaps. And I'm going to just paint close to the edge, and I don't care if it runs down because this is a quick sketch. And it gives it kind of a lively effect, actually. I kind of like that. Little suggestion of the weeds here. Now then, it wouldn't hurt a bit to blot a little of that for texture and to keep it from running all over. And you notice I've left the center kind of empty here because this is a dark cedar tree, and I'm mixing up a really good dark evergreeny color, intense, with burnt sienna and phthalo blue, which gives you a dark, dark green, interestingly enough, or usually does. My light is kind of funny in here. Okay, and I won't want it to be as wet, so I've blotted my brush on a paper towel, which you can't see. Blotted my brush on a paper towel, tra-la, and just kind of laying in the cedar tree, letting it blend a little bit. Yeah, that's fine. And now I'm going to go back with my paper towel and just lift a little of that, gave it a nice texture. And of course I always like the suggestion of spatter in the foreground especially. So I'm going to use a little more of my green up here. And some, ooh, that's kind of nice. We'll just leave that. I've sharpened the end of my brush, as you can see. That makes an extra tool. Wait a minute, I'm going to make that darker. Now, you know, you might not have time doing this sitting out in front of the library while your husband is getting the books, but on the other hand, who knows, you might. Sometimes I grab my watercolors and occasionally I have to tell him, "Sweetie, I need a few more minutes." And thank God he understands. And let's have a little spatter up here in orange to suggest the leaves. And I'm going to blot that for interest and variation and call it through. That was fast.